Hello, everybody. Trying to whistle along to that tune. It's not really my forte. Hi, everybody. I'm Todd Rains. Thank you for joining me here today. Today is Friday, and today is actually the beginning of Easter weekend. It's Good Friday today, so happy Easter weekend, everybody that celebrates Easter weekend. I think it's Passover as well this next week. So, um, anyway, I am here every second Friday at 2:30. The story of 2:30 Todd is buried in some of my past live streams, so you can go to my website and check out the past live streams and maybe find out what that's all about. Anyway, the today is the Friday I'm on, and I'm happy to be here. I keep saying anyway. I'm trying to think of what I'm saying. So I'm in my shop here in Allen, Texas, and the weather is a little chilly. We got up to like 88 2 days ago, and it's down to 57 or something today. So it's perfect for t-shirt weather in the shop right now. But yeah, so, spring is trying to come here. I don't know. It's kind of bouncing around. I know other parts of the country are struggling with weather and stuff as well. So let's say hi to a few people here in the crowd. So David joined early. And hi David, and it's Mick. He's up in Portland, Oregon area. Rain and sun. So good. At least you got a good, maybe a bit of both. So that's good news. And let's see, Michael McEwen, just north of David, up in Victoria, BC. Good to have you here, Michael. Thank you. Cindy in Colorado. Wonder what Todd's up to today. Yeah, so a little wonder. I wonder what I'm up to. So we'll get into that in just a second here. It is, yeah, I do have fun putting these little graphics together. So makes me learn the tool a bit better, and just hopefully catching your attention and trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to be doing today. So, but I think it might be obvious from the pictures. Let's see. Oops, hit the wrong button there. Tony, good to have you here. Thanks for joining. And say hi to Nikki. Larry, thank you for joining. John, good to have you here. Yeah, so let's see. Oh, my friend Lowell from down south. A rainy day in Alamo, Texas. Well done. Well done. Sometimes you need the wet weather. So, John, upstate New York. Good to have you here. Glenn Crandall. Good to have you. See you again. So always good to have you here. And Michael Warren. Thank you very much, folks, for joining today. So most people are joining on YouTube or Facebook. There's a few from StreamYard. So in my up here, I do stream to Facebook and YouTube, but also with this program I'm using right now to live stream, StreamYard, they have a webinar feature. I published that link in my newsletter yesterday. So it's one of those things of trying to figure out how to use that part or leverage that part of the tool. So and it's basically like sitting in front of a YouTube or Facebook might be a little easier to find. So if you're joining from StreamYard, let me know. Cindy is on that one. So I wonder what he's going to make. I don't know. Don't know if I'm going to make anything in particular. Well, maybe. We've got some stuff planned. So let's see. Haim's here. Thank you for joining. He was a vendor showcase drawing winner. So Haim, good to have you here. And hopefully you've got your vendor showcase gift. So vendor showcase was last weekend, the April 1st and 2nd. We had a great time, and myself, Cindy, Lyle, Joe Fleming, and Steve Worcester, celebrated a little bit of John Jordan's life and talked a little bit about some of the turning influence he had on us and stuff like that. And we each made a little object of art, a little hollow form or something to kind of put into as a collection and auctioned that off and raised money for John Jordan's family. And Vicki Jordan has taken that on, and she'll use it as she sees fit with her trying to set up John's tool business for herself or a charity or whatever she needs to get along. So wish the Jordan family the best and that kind of stuff. So that was last weekend, and so that was a lot of fun. And let me just go through a couple of little slides here. So you all know who I am. This is how you get a hold of me. So please do so if you got any questions about today or about any tool or any wood turning question. Be happy to answer those. Been answering lots of customer questions lately, so it's always good to interact and stuff like that. So please reach out. Let's see, where am I? Let's see, I just, Cindy said, the StreamYard webinar is easy to find and join. Yes. Tony had a comment. I've been in Waco all week, just got home, stormed the whole way, 4.5 hours to get home. Ooh, that is a long, Waco's only a couple hours from you, so that's strange. Too bad. Sorry, Tony. Good to have you back home. I'm sure it's good to be home. So, Cindy, speaking of Cindy Drozda, she does a live stream every other week than I do. She's on Thursdays at 1. Let me find that one here. Yes. So usually every 2 weeks, Thursdays. I believe it's 1 o'clock. I got to get that in there. 1 o'clock Eastern. So no, 1 o'clock Central. So 12 noon Mountain her time. So check that out. Hopefully it's on next week. Not sure what she's going to do, but it's lovely to visit with her when she does those. So today I'm live streaming, but tomorrow Cindy is doing a demo, a fancy inlay box demo. So this is tomorrow, April 8th at 1 p.m. Eastern. So visit cindydrozda.com to sign up. So that's going to be lots of fun. I'm there as a co-host as usual. So we'll see you tomorrow morning. Please join us. Cindy is a stunning demonstrator and teacher. So please join in and take some inspiration. She does a lot of work in the drawings and dimensioning and all that stuff, and gives you step by step in some cases on this project. So yeah, and it's always fun. So hope to see you there tomorrow. And I think that's it for announcements. What is this thing? I wonder. So this is a little wonder tool. So let me go overhead quickly here. So the Little Wonder Cup tool is a tool that this is not the tool, and that's a sharpening aid. But this company is Woodcut. They're out of New Zealand, and we've been a dealer for a year and a half, almost 2 years coming up, and great family-run business to deal with and work with and stuff. This is the tool. It's just a 1/2-inch shaft rod. It's about 12 inches long. On the end, it's got a cup cutter, 13 millimeter cup cutter on it, and it's at a slight angle. If I zoom in, take a little bit closer look, so you can see that that's at a slight raked angle on there, and then the cup has a slight angle on the sides of the cutter. And I've got a couple of little Sharpie marks in there as to where I've already used. So it certainly can be rotated. Here's the interesting thing about this thing. This is an M2 cup cutter, so this one can be resharpened. So they do make a carbide version of it, so you can get carbide cup cutter. I wonder if I pull this out. You can kind of see the difference in the actual cutter. And I'm trying to get that little plasticky thing off there without cutting myself. So here's the two. You can notice that the carbide has these facets in it, but otherwise it's the same sort of shape and size, 13 millimeters. They can be interchangeable, so the shaft is the same, so you can put this cutter on this shaft and this cutter on that shaft. Not a problem. And the interesting thing, though, is the M2 is sharpenable. So that's what I did yesterday. I did a little bit of practice. It was only the first time I've used this tool was yesterday for about 30 minutes, and I was really quite taken with how easy it was to kind of pick up and learn, I guess, or use. And maybe that comes from experience in terms of understanding how to maybe present the tool. They do give you some information, some user guides here. I will point out that, let's see, it just flashed there, right there. This little black line right along there, just by the logo on the other side, there's the black line again. So these are what is gives you sort of the presentation angle. So if this line is facing up, then you've got about a 30-degree presentation angle, and same with this side. So that gives you some visual cue on the tool to see how you might present it. So I wouldn't go much more open than that. I'll say that's open and that's closed. And so I'll start relatively closed and bring it open. And otherwise, this is going to take a lot of material at one time if you have it straight up like that. So anyway, that's what we're going to look at today. I'm set up here on the bench top first because I do want to show a little bit interesting thing about sharpening this thing. So I want you to throw your questions into the chat in the comments, and we'll get to those and stuff like that as they come through. And I'm just looking through at this point. So what one of the reasons why I'm doing this one today is because I haven't used this tool before, I haven't shown it before, and we have a few in stock. We got more coming, and I want to make sure that if you do wonder about it, at least I can show you that I've used it and can talk more intelligently to you about it and help you along the way in using it. So let me just clear that off the deck. That's just a box that one came in. While I'm here, so it comes with a little Allen wrench to undo that. And I'll just say a quick word about the user guide here for a second. I don't know if I need to really zoom that in so you can read it, but so they got a YouTube channel to view this. So I did watch that YouTube on this tool. Terry Scott did the demonstration. It's useful. I don't think he chose the best wood to demonstrate it with, but very interesting tutorial. And so check that out. Once this is done, you can check this one out too. I'll link this in the product page when I get it edited down. So razor sharp for finishing cuts to get a very clean finish before sanding. Excellent on curly grain wood. So I'll go on here for a second. They say that this is primarily used, primarily designed for small end grain goblets and vase. So that's true. This seems like sort of a hook tool / ring tool / end grain hollowing tool. And we'll show that, a little bit of that. It's a little hard to show inside things, but we'll do some open forum stuff on end grain, but we're also going to do some side grain stuff too. So, let's see, tool on its side with the bevel rubbing. I kind of talked about that on the side. You see these lines with the marked cutting position of the shaft facing up. So that's this line they're talking about. And so that's pretty much it. In terms of the use of it. And then there's sharpening down here. So we can sharpen these things. I don't want to show that first since I'm set up here on the table. So let me just set that aside for a second. I'm going to take this cutter off, and we're going to see that we can sharpen it rather easily in a couple of different ways. Actually, three different ways that I kind of looked at and tried yesterday. So one thing you want to do is don't lose this screw, because it is a tapered headed screw that fits nicely into that cup area down there. So the first way I want to do it is one of the things that you might need for this to make it easier is this guy. This is a stem sharpener. This is on our website. I think it's $25. Yeah, there it is right there. My wife priced everything. $25. So this is the one I use in the shop. That's why it's got my logo on it. It's a rod with a pointy end that fits in, the notch in your grinding jig, whether it's the one-way Wolverine or whether it's the true grind, it'll work. On the end here, it's got a screw that I'm going to take out. This screw is sort of generic for cutters like this. You can sharpen these teardrops with it, and that kind of stuff. So you can sharpen the Proform cutters with it and stuff like that. But we're going to put on this cup cutter on the end here. And then there's a quick way that we can do this. And 3 ways. So we'll do all 3 ways. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit and show you that I've got, get myself off there a little bit. No, I have this over here. I forgot about this one. This is a cup cutter head. Let me zoom back in. I forgot about this sitting here. This is a cup tool head that fits in the Proform shaft. So if you got a Proform hollowing tool, then this is an accessory you can get. Has the same, uses the same cutter heads as this. And so just another way to use a shaft you already have. I don't know what diameter that is. I should measure that. It's probably on the website, but I don't have my calipers handy. But anyway, that is there as well. This is $70. The Little Wonder's, I think, $70 as well. So either way, you're spending $70 whether you get the shaft or not. So, yeah, that rounds out the product. There's 3 of them: the carbide version, the M2 version, and then the little attachment for the Proform. So, as I zoom out here, I've got this diamond hone, credit card hone here. This is the first way we're gonna sharpen this guy. We're gonna take a little drill, electric drill, and mount this stem sharpener in there. And now we got this guy rotating. And if I just zoom in a little bit and we hold that, I'm holding this shaft relatively flat on the table, and I'm getting a little micro bevel right on the end there. And if I zoom in a bit more, you might see the glintiness right there. So you see that little micro bevel I just created. So that's one way. So simple hand drill with the shaft, the stem sharpener shaft. The other way is, the wrong way, Todd, is on your lathe in your chuck. So I've got to back this off just a little bit. Move this down, and if we go down this way, we have one of these pin jaw chucks. Oops, wrong way. Put the pointy end in there, and we can put that in there. This is a one-way Talon chuck, and I've got to back this off a little bit more because it's going to hit my platform here. So there it is. There, we can tighten this guy up. Turn the speed down and hold the, move that a bit more. Hold the hone right under there. Simple, dead easy. So that's number 2. Third way we do it. We will come over, leave it on the stem sharpener. The stem sharpener is kind of integral to sharpen these little cup cutters, at least in my mind. If we go over to, follow me over this way. All right, you ready? Here we are. Over to the grinder. Hello. Okay, so I've got this set up. This is the True Grind system. I've got a little socket here. There's one back here for scrapers, but this one works. I've got it set right to where I kind of need it, where I'm getting a nice contact across the whole bevel on this guy. This is a 320 grit stone. I suggest you use a very high grit number because you don't want to take off a lot of material on this guy. So, and just a very light touch. So I wouldn't go anything less than something very fine on your CBN. And I probably wouldn't do this very often. By the way, the hone over there is 600 grit approximately. So that gives you some idea. So we throw this on here, turn up the speed. And I'm done that quickly. So that is the stem sharpener. Sharpens these guys. I can even sharpen my teardrop cutters on there, doing the same thing, just readjusting the wheel for the bevel angle. So yeah, let's take a close look overhead on what that looks like now. And let me just refocus a little bit here. Bear with me a second, we'll get a nice clean shot of that. So we've got a nice bevel that you can kind of see. This bottom half is a little rough, the top half is nice and clean. So then we got a nice sharp edge. Oh, that's very sharp all along top. So that is sharpening the little tool. I'm going to take that out, leave it on the screw, put it back on the tool. If I can get it in there. Hang on. There we go. I gotta just see what I'm doing. There we go. Butterfingers. And Easter dinner hasn't even started yet. All right. We are, by the way, we're having orzo pasta salad tonight. I'm looking forward to that. Shelley's been working on that today. So that is orzo pasta and some spice blend and a little bit of oil and some chicken, some other vegetables, cucumbers, tomatoes. Good stuff. Anyway, making myself hungry. All right, so that is the tool. That is the stem sharpener. Let me get this screw back in here. This screw is good for doing these teardrop cutters. If you don't want to do them on a platform, Greek chicken pasta salad, she says. Orzo pasta salad, Greek chicken pasta salad. So anyway, that's how you would do the a cutter, whether it's a teardrop like this one or round or whatever it may be. That's how those go on there, and pull that off. We'll set the stem sharpener aside. We will set, I'm just going to put this cover on. This is, keep these things because it's nice to protect that. Put the Allen wrench up there, credit card sharpener down, and remove my gray table and get my lathe here. So we've got a couple of things to try. While I'm kind of changing things over, I'm just going to take a look at questions. Let's see, Charlie, good to have you here from the UK. Thank you for joining, appreciate it. Let's see. Charlie asks, are you doing free postage to the UK? No, I'm sorry. I wish I could. Charlie, send me an email, and we can take a look and do a custom quote on shipping over there. I know the one thing is I don't know if the Royal Mail catches everything on duties. I think they do, but not sure what that is. But let's we can at least explore further than what's on the website. The website's going to give you a flat rate that may be a little bit. It's hard to gauge how it changes. So drop me an email. I'll certainly do that. Michael says, yeah, at least it didn't make it in the bucket. Yeah, that would be, that's a good question. I wonder, is it magnetic? M2 is magnetic, right? That's always a good question. It is. Look at that. Oh, you can't see it. All right. So if it did fall in my bucket of shavings, I've got a big garbage can down here full of shavings. I can get my little magnetic wand. So that's the other thing. Is carbide magnetic? I don't know. That's a good question too. All right. Good question or comment, Michael. Thank you. It tastes much better from a wooden bowl. Okay, sure. The pasta salad probably would, and it would probably season the bowl too. All that oil in there. Lowell says, "What CBN grit would you use to sharpen a teardrop cutter with a stem sharpener?" So, yeah, good question, Lowell. I would probably do it on my 320 again. It only needs a little bit of sharpening. Don't need to take a lot of metal off to sharpen a scraper. Otherwise, 180 is the other wheels I have for sharpening. So, yeah, 180 and up, I think, is what I grind the bevel on my teardrop scrapers using a 80 grit. I think it's an 80 grit, might be 60 grit. I need to get a 60 grit to get the bevel, and then I hone them or finish sharpen them for customers on the 180. So, good question. Good question. And Cindy's commenting, I don't think carbide is magnetic. Another plus for the M2 steel. Yeah, good. All right. What am I doing? I wonder. Okay, so we've got a couple of different things up here to try. I've got samples of face grain and end grain and a little bit of hollowing thing we're going to do as well. I need to take this one off, so let me do that. I am, by the way, changing chucks. There we go. Get this little guy off there. I guess he can go up on the board. Interesting. All right. Let's see. What do we want to do first? Face grain or end grain? What do you guys think? Let's do end grain first, because that's kind of what it's built for and meant for. So, good thing I have chucks ready to go. So we've got a little piece of ash, it looks like. And let me, while I'm here, I'm done with I'm trying to say the sharpener over there. And so let me set up my camera a little bit here. All right, so let me, so I'm going to bear with me as it's not too badly focused. All right. I just have to put this up in front because I can't quite. There we go. Oh, that's it there, folks. We got it dialed in. It's a little bright. I'll turn that down just a little bit. Wrong way. There we go. All right, exposure. The triangle of exposure. Everybody knows, right? Aperture, shutter speed, and ISO. Learning lots in wood turning, aren't we? So, all right. So we've got this end grain piece, and I did some practice yesterday. Looks very nice. So here we have, just jump back to overhead. So it's a 1/2 inch shaft, fits in a 1/2 inch tool handle. And the nice thing I like about the long shaft all the way is you can dial it into whatever length you need to reach. So I don't need to reach very far. So I'm gonna leave it in relatively close. I will actually do it this way. I can have those lines. I'm lining up this label on the other side, so I keep my set screws down. Pull off this guy. Let me check that other camera. All right, and let's zoom that one in just a little bit more. Turn that exposure down just a little bit. We'll take a look at that one. All right, so this is showing a little bit of what we're going to look at and cut. So this is end grain. This is kind of what the tool was sort of meant for. And I'm adjusting. Let me put this guy here. Oh, let me put that up there. So we have a little bit of clearance for the tool to come out. Overhead's a little far away. about there. And here's the line right there. So that's straight up. I'm going to start a little bit more closed than that. Right. So, and we're going to start from the inside because end grain running this way, you need to cut from the middle out to the rim. So I'm going to cut from here out this way. On the face grain, when we get there, we're going to go opposite direction. So safety glasses, Todd. All right. I keep, my wife hates that when people talk in the third person. So I'll stop that. I'm going to put my safety glasses on now. All right. On. Proof. On. There we go. All right. Power all the way down, power on, power back up. I don't need to go too fast. Let's start about 1100, 1200. And I'm going to hold the tool horizontal, and I'm slightly askew on my angle of tool of because I'm going to get the cutter embedded in the cut, and then I'm going to swing the handle to get the. I just stop for a second. This tool reminds me so much of a hook tool that we're going to kind of, let me refocus that camera a little bit. So bear with me 1 second. One shot out of focus. There we go. All right. So reminds me so much of a hook tool in a way in the presentation. So there's the bevel of the tool. And so if I want to get on the bottom flat and level, I have to be about there. If I want to get the tip engaged, I'm about there. And as I come up the sidewall, I can turn the tool, let this bevel rub instead of this one, letting this one rub. So I don't know if you kind of understand that geometry. So it's a little bit of practice, and tool tailstock a little bit my way. So just getting that cut involved. It's auto and picture in picture. I'll keep my hand down below so you can kind of see what's going on. And is that tailstock? Not really. Let me just stop for a quick second. I'm just trying to focus. Sorry, folks. That's somewhat there, but it's not quite. All right. All right, tool back in there. Cutting on the center. We got a little skate back. I opened the tool up a little bit, or skate back. Didn't rotate the handle enough, so I'm gonna have to put my hand over top just to kind of refresh my memory a little bit. Holding your hand down below doesn't give you quite the leverage you maybe need. Tool rest is all the way down, so get that started. Drill a hole. I've drilled a little bit of a hole there. All the way out. So these are very clean cuts all the way through. Got a little ripple down the bottom there. Not bad though. That'll sand out. But very smooth cut, cutting from the right grain direction from center to the outside on end grain. So that works really well. We'll do a little bit on the edge here just to kind of give another perspective. And maybe I'll zoom this in a little bit more. Oops. The shavings coming off are nice little curls. So it is cutting nicely. And you can see those coming off as well. There's a little bit of skate back, and that's basically this edge getting caught and dragged back into the cut like that. So it takes a little bit of control just to hold the tool there. You can always close it down quite a bit more. And I'm not really rubbing the bevel here, so that's the other problem as well. And let's clean some of this off. Then we'll get a better, I gotta do overhand cut here. We'll do a better job sort of rubbing the bevel, which requires my hand to be kind of way over here, and I'm trying to get a good picture for you. So if I get way over here and rub that bevel a bit better, it is a bit more controlled. Just like any gouge, you need to worry about where that bevel is and where it's riding. So can we go backwards? Can we go against the grain and still get a good cut? That's a good question. Let's try that next. All right, so we're going to go against the grain. This is going to be a little bit more natural for me, or not natural for me, but for the tool position. Comfortable, I guess, would be the better word. Let me turn that off and go overhead. Because now this angle of cut in here going that way is going to suit that bevel, so I can have my handle a little bit easier to control, and it's going to go against the grain. We're going to see what kind of cut we get. So let's put that back on. I'm treating this just like a gouge. I need to kind of just start that cut. Once I get that cut established, get that bevel riding, then I can open the flute, if you will. I'm going very slow to finish that cut. So that's actually very smooth. For going against the grain, that is remarkably smooth. So quite happy with that. It takes a little bit to figure out how to control the tool. So I'm going to get a little bit closer. Then we're going to go against the grain on the interior here. I'm going to pick up the speed just a little bit more. Yeah, big skate back, right? So that's having the tool open just like a gouge. In fact, let me just show that with a gouge. Let me just clean that off with this. So here's a traditional spindle gouge. If I leave the flute open, I'm skating back, just like that. If I leave it closed, I'm going to skate in. If I hold it nice and level, I can get that bevel to, that tool to start cutting and cut there. So same thing with this tool, right? So I got to have that perfectly level. To get that bevel, get that cutting edge engaged, and then I can open the tool and ride the bevel. And remember, this is cutting against the grain. I'm going to do one more cut. A little bit too much at once. Into the middle. I'm going to ride that bevel back up. So it operates just like a gouge in my mind. But that's giving really nice cuts against the grain. I'm just, it's very similar to a hook tool in that regard. It'll, if you're riding that bevel, you're cutting with the grain. It does really well. And this being able to go against the grain, being able to turn, oops, wrong tool, be able to turn that hook, so to speak, over to go either way is really helpful. So what about the outside? Does it really do anything there for us? I'm really not sure. I don't know. let's find out. So let's see, overhead's going to be the better one all around. My wires, okay, there we go. So this is going to have to work if I, what am I going to show you on this guy? Yeah, maybe. So traditionally I would, be right-handed, but I have to get my body way over to the side to get that bevel rubbing. So I'm actually going to switch hands and be able to ride that bevel here. If I go overhead there, being comfortable with standing on this side of the tool instead of that side, this side of the tool instead of that side. So this is a left-handed cut. Practice cutting with the other hand whenever you can. So this is certainly a finishing tool in my mind. The finishes very nicely there. I've got some tear out here that I think was left over from the rough cut. So we'll do one more and just see how that cleans up compared to how rough it was up here. So it looks good. So I would say these are kind of good for, clean final passes on this side or the inside of your thing, your end grain turning. So let's try the face grain, or actually let's put on the other end grain hollow form, and we'll do that. So let me see. Okay. No other comments. If you got comments, please leave them below. This is again me experimenting with or learning a new tool, just like anybody that buys a new tool will have to do. Let me. I don't need this chuck for that one, do I? No. I think I need this chuck, but we're going to do the. We're actually going to change this out and do the little hollow form first. Little Nova chuck. So this little piece of Bradford pear, excuse me, as I work through lunch. And there we go. So I've made marks on my, you can't see that, on my my piece to where jaw 1 goes. We got jaw 1 there. So I'm going to, all right, this is a Nova because it goes backwards. Tighten that and just kind of wiggle it. It's fitting into those little depression marks. If we take a look, we got little depression marks here, and that's fitting into those. Rock it back and forth, and this should run nice and true. Rock solid. All right. Here we go. Okay, so we're gonna look at the end grain on this guy. Let's see, camera, tailstock. So we've got a bit of an opening started. It was drilled with my 7/8 inch drill bit all the way to depth, and I started practicing yesterday with this little wonder tool here. So let's do a little bit more. I realize it's hard to show hollowing, so I'm not going to do a whole lot, but you'll see how this reacts. So I don't have to go too fast at 1100 RPM. Holding the tool where that line is, I'm actually past that line. If we, sorry, there we go. Zoom that out just a little bit, and So this horizontal line on here, that would be right about there. I'm actually closing it a bit more to go in, and I'll try and keep my hand out of the way. So I'm just kind of dragging that along at that angle into that hole. And sweeping to the side. So it's basically kind of a scraping cut, but that's fine for hollowing. Let's see, blow that out a little bit, see how much I got. So that's now about another inch deeper, and then starting to widen out. It's here, and I'm widening out a little bit in here. So yeah, that works well. The nice thing about it is I can extend this tool out different depths and have support as I go down. So maybe some of you have used Hunter tools, Mike Hunter tools. I think these might be similar to those. I don't have any Mike Hunter tools, but I'm not sure if he's got one that's, this big. So this is a 13 millimeter cutter. Get that back in the frame, and which is a little big for some things. So I don't know it'd be good for ornaments, but this size hollow form seems pretty good, which is, well, let's just measure, Todd. We got about 4.5, 5 inches deep, and about 3.5, 3 3/4 wide. Nice piece of Bradford pear, nice and soft. It's well dried, but nice and soft to turn. So let me get this a little bit closer. Reach in and do a little bit more. That's at the where it cuts nicely is at the edge of the hole, and I'll do some here. So when it's coming across the face of the turning here, if this was the bottom of the hole, it cuts nicely across here. Because it's kind of got bevel contact back in the bottom of the hole. Once I start scraping down the sidewalls, it's more of a scrape. So that's kind of the action I'm feeling down the bottom here. As I hit that side wall of the hole, I can cut sideways across and then scrape the wall, cut around and like that. So as you can see, it leaves a nice finish on this surface as I cut across it. Why does that look out of focus? Is that out of focus? That does seem a little out of focus. Why is this not auto-focusing? I have this camera set up for, that's good there, for taking stills. The other day I should say, no, that's not what I want to do. I've been taking a lot of stills with that camera, product photography, so doing lots of adding lots of new products. We got the full range of robust tools, just haven't got them on the website yet. So that'll be coming. So there we go. That's end grain hollowing. I'm not going to do more of that because you can't really see what's going on there. So I'm going to swap this turning out for that little natural edge piece that you just saw me put on there. Take that off. Toggle. Wider. And this kind of surprised me, working this little piece. So I didn't mark the, did I? I don't think I marked the, no, didn't mark the jaws on this one. So not really a bother. It sat into those holes, or the crushed part of the grain, and that should turn nice and true. I'm going to clean this up just to quickly with a gouge. I got a big chunk here that I want to kind of clear away. And have, I don't know, we'll experiment. All right. I'm just going to clean up this one large cut here. All right. So now I'm going to do some cuts on the inside, on the outside, and the inside with this tool. This is face grain. Obviously, the grain's going across this way, so we're cutting. The ideal way is to cut from the small diameter, large diameter on the outside, from large diameter to small diameter on the inside. So we will do that. We're also going to cut against the grain and see the difference. So I'm going to first cut from down here up here on the outside. So let me, oops, wrong way. Get this over here. So again, I'm going to switch hands, and let me, that looks pretty good focus to me. I think we'll just double check. All right, and then let me show you this one. I'm going to switch hands again so that we're able to rub this bevel back here. Didn't want to switch, actually. I wanted to toggle that one. Let me bring this back just a little, oops, wrong way. Just a little bit. So left-handed again, up this outside, because I can rub this bevel quite a bit easier. If we look under there, you kind of see we're almost rubbing the bevel right there. And so that's how we're going to go. We can only get down that far. All right, so tool right over on its side, get that bevel in contact, kind of open it up. That's a pretty big cut. I'm going to change my angle of attack. And if we take a look, we'll get nice, you can't see that. Oh my gosh. Nice curly shavings off of that, as we'd expect coming up that way. And we'll get a nice quality of cut. I've got a little ridge in there right where I started. And trying to meet that line where I cut against the grain. So if I do that and follow all the way up, all the way out to the bark edge. And all the way out. Stop and take a look. And we got a nice good cut. What I do notice is right in here, we've got some tear out right in this cannula. This bark it's dry, Bradford pear, I think, looks like it. And it's kind of torn out right in here. So I want to cut that way, this direction, to see if I can salvage that or fix that. Not a bad cut overall, though. It's pretty good for doing that kind of thing. It's actually relatively easy. So I'm going to now use my left hand and go into the cut from here. Change my tool rest just a little bit. Give me a bit of space here. So I'm going to rub my bevel here, bring it back, push in a little bit, and take a cut. This is a way to preserve the bark so the bark doesn't fall off. So rubbing that bevel, open it up. And do I get a better cut? Not really, but it's doable. If you have fragile bark, it's definitely doable to come from the bark side in. And this stuff is just really kind of punky in that bark layer. So, but not bad. The quality of cut all the way along is really nice and smooth and stuff. I got a little chatter right at the end. You can see the chatter lines there, so we can clean that up. I think I was just pushing a little too hard on the tool. So I'm just going to rub from here. Slow down the tool, the feed rate, get rid of that chatter. So it does work. This is my preferred method would be a gouge, but this does work if that's the only tool you have. So that works as well. So let's look at the inside and see how that goes. This kind of surprised me the other day, so how easy it was. Where's my best picture here? Probably tailstock. Switch that one. Okay, so traditionally you'd use a gouge and you'd go here down there. We're going to do the same thing, but with our little cup tool. So that's kind of the angle. So come back out. How easy that was kind of makes me really think about this tool a little bit more. So very nice and smooth. I got a little dimple right in the bottom I got to clean out. So we'll take one more pass, clean that bottom off a little bit. I don't think this is a substitute for gouges necessarily, but it is an interesting alternative in using this tool. So it has a lot of uses, definitely for your turning tool arsenal, I think. So again, sort of my first foray into open sort of cup tools, the Raleigh Monroe cup tool. I guess the Jimmy Clue is a very small cup tool, so not something I've used on the outside of a bowl like this one. So, but yeah, that's it. I think I had for different sort of demos. I want to take a look at some questions and see if there's. Oh, let's see. Michael was saying that carbide is magnetic. Interesting. He went and found out. So good to know. So yeah, I think there's a place for this kind of tool, and that's really confusing. Let me put this up. There we go. Let me get a little a place for this kind of tool in your arsenal. You know, or whether it's the attachment to an existing tool. So, yeah, interesting stuff. I was, as I said, I hadn't used this tool before yesterday, although I've had it in stock for a while, and so I thought, oh, let's you know, we definitely got to give that a shot and see how it works. So I'm happy to report it works as expected. And what I liked about this one is that it has M2 cutter that is sharpenable. So and also at this point I can just loosen it. I put on little Sharpie marks. You can't really see it, it's blurred in the background, but I put a little Sharpie mark on the inside of the tool to tell me where I was cutting, and then I just rotate it and I got a sharp edge. What's that? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, we're whispering. Shelly just brought me this carbide tool. This is one of the, let me, number 2. What am I doing here? I'm getting that. One of the cutters for the mate tool, and it is magnetic. So yeah, interesting. Good to know. Thank you. She says bye. All right. So yeah, let's. Thanks, Todd. Say hi to hi to Happy Easter, everyone. Okay, will do. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with the tool, the little Wonder tool. It is a bit of a wonder, and let's see, do I have it? oops, that's what I wanted to do. Yes, little wonder. So hopefully, if you got any questions, let me know. And I will. Oh, do you know what I didn't do? Don't go away, anybody. I've got to find something here. Here it is. So, I meant to do this at the beginning of the show. I forgot. At Vendor Showcase, Spring Vendor Showcase, hence SVS, we announced a coupon code that's available until the 15th. SVS 2023. It's still valid. I didn't publish it to the newsletter. I published it live on the Vendor Showcase. I'm publishing it live here for you folks. So, if you do see something in the store, and if I do this and show that behind me, so there's the web store, and you can see we've got our anniversary sale. Check out the special deals. So the special deals page shows this banner anniversary sale, and there's a number of items that are on sale. Some woodcut stuff, some DMT stuff, and some eye gauging stuff, and some other stuff. So all of these things are already on sale. But what the SVS 2023 code does for you, if I that's still on there. So shows, or does for you, is give you 10% off stuff that's not on sale. And that's the only way it works. It won't be additive. If you try it on something that's on sale, it won't apply. But it gives you a range of other products, everything in the store, to get 10% off. So lucky you guys. So I should have done that at the beginning. I forgot. And where's my button? I want to go here. Yeah, back here. So SVS 2023. And tools I'm using, lots of the cool stuff, woodturningtoolstore.com. Hopefully that's not too intrusive. So instead of doing a raffle drawing, I've done one of those, a couple of those every time. I thought I would show you guys, and let's see if I can follow the bouncing ball, SVS 2023. Yeah. So check that out if you're looking for something. You can save money on this guy, even the handle, up until the 15th. So the reason why, as you saw on the web page, it's our anniversary. We are 6 years this week. I think it's actually on the 11th is when we officially started the Woodturning tool store, and so it was fitting to kind of kick it off at the vendor showcase and carry it through to the 15th. Hot tea. Yes, I'm a teetotaler. All right. Let's see. Any last comments here? We've got Charlie said email sent. Okay, good, Charlie. We'll take a look for you and see what we can do. I guess I should have said include your mail to address and what you want, and I'll work up a special order with an order from the back end with the proper shipping quote. That would work. Hopefully your address is, if the address isn't in any email, Charlie, please send it again. All right. Any last, I don't see anything else. Everybody else, remember to get a hold of me if you need to. Watch Cindy next Thursday, but more importantly, tomorrow. Check out her demo tomorrow. I've got to get on the ball and schedule a demo myself. I just have not. It's good news, bad news story. It's just good news. We've been so busy. Bad news, I'm so busy I can't do other things. So one of those dilemmas. I am. Whoops. There we go. All right, we'll leave it on that note. I think that is a good hour taken up. So again, following this, if you have any questions, please contact me. Let me know. Email, phone, what works, or the contact form on the website. Happy to be here. Happy Easter, everybody. Good Friday. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. And we'll see you. Well, I'll see a lot of you tomorrow. And but otherwise, we'll see you in 2 weeks on the next live stream. So Ciao, everybody. We'll see Lowell tomorrow. Thanks, Lowell. Thanks everybody else for joining. Appreciate it. You all have a great day. Don't forget the coupon code below. Write it down one more time as it comes across the screen. Save 10% off. SVS 2023. Look at me. I'm doing pretty good. I'm having fun. All right. Hope you're having fun too. Take care. 2:30 Todd. We'll see you next time.